what's up? Back on the channel. Gonna work on my tow rig, the flatbed. Y'all seen in a couple of my other videos pulling the trailer, but I haven't really done a video on it, and I was thinking I need to do a video, and I got some parts for it. This is a 2019 Super Duty front, dually, coil spring front end, because right now it has a leaf spring Super Duty axle out of like a 2000 that's been swapped under it. The rear's a Super Duty Dana 80 disc brakes and everything. So we're gonna get that put under it and show you more of the truck. It's a 95 F350 with a P-pump 12-valve Cummins in it. And then it has a ZF6 6-speed behind it from a 6.0 Super Duty Ford. Pretty nice. I just put all this interior in it because the guy before me had got it painted, but then the interior was pretty rough, the dash and everything. So I got this dash, all the interior panels, the headliner, everything out of another crew cab OBS. Just swapped all that in it. Not a fan of this color, but I'm just gonna leave it like it is for now. Not really a fan of these headlights either. I put these in here, but they do not fit very good. They look decent, just don't fit very good. Look how far this one sticks out. Amazon special. But anyways, get this front end out. Really want to get this thing completely done, get the AC working, get everything working. It's gonna be a nice truck, very nice truck. So to get this axle out, from the videos I watched, it should be very easy to use all the Super Duty stuff. Supposedly you can bump this up to that body mount bracket, to the edge of that bracket right there. Obviously got to cut the leaf spring bracket off, but should go right there. They say you can bump that up there and it'll center your tire up here. And then this, they also say this bracket for your track bar. See how it has a step in it? That's supposed to bolt right up to this step in the frame right here, where this is. Another bolt here, another bolt right there. So we're gonna see if that actually works. I got the coil buckets. Hopefully those will line up correctly. They're off of the Super Duty. Should be pretty mint. Oh, also, since this is such a new axle, it has these big rotors and brakes. And then the 8x200 bolt pattern. And you have to have 17-inch wheel to clear those. And all I have is a 16. So what I ended up doing is I took the brake bracket off of this axle and the caliper's there, but took the brake and the rotor off of here, and it bolts right up to this. This bolts right up here. Just have to shim it over a little bit to make it line up, but then I can put my adapter on and put my wheel on, and it all clears. So that'd be pretty nice. Kind of surprised that works, but so get this axle out, get it on some stands, and get this axle rolled up under there. Let's get to it. So I didn't put this 12 valve in this truck, but if you go back a couple of my older videos, you'll see a white single cab that I used to have. I put the 12 valve in that one, and then I'm always on Facebook Marketplace, you know how that goes. I found this thing and I was wanting a 4-door, and it already had the P-pump 12 valve in it. It just had an automatic behind it. So me and him talked back and forth. We ended up trading the trucks. I kept my flatbed, I kept my tires, off of the white truck, so that's why those look the same. And then all I did was I found a ZF6 and put in this, and that's pretty much where I'm at. Now I'm putting the front end under it, and I'm just going to keep upgrading and eventually work on the motor, build the motor and everything. So yeah, pretty cool. All right, didn't take that long, got it out. Next thing is get these off. And I gotta sit there with the torch and cut these off. That's gonna be fun. And this has to come off too. Nice, it's riveted. Let's hope it had bolts. So these, those, and take this off too. Also, this is a 355, and this has my truck has a 410 in the back, but I have 2 sets of 410s. These, and I have another axle. So hopefully one of those will fit in that one. This is my plan. But got this out. I got to get this rotor and this off, brake caliper and all that, or brake bracket. Get it swapped over that one, but I'm just gonna worry about getting the axle under there now. So I need to get those off. Start on these and the buckets. Alright, I got all the brackets off. Got all the rivets knocked out. Throw some paint on it and start putting the new brackets on. Alright, it's about midnight and I got this clamped up there. Looks pretty good. Got this clamped on. Just got it lined up on this front bolt right here. And then this, I don't know, this ain't gonna work, I don't think. Because it's hitting it's like really close to the pitman arm. And it's not even straight, it's crooked. It's like this. So, I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. But the coil buckets look good, and those look good. So that's definitely a start. Get those on and those on. And then it looks like all I gotta do is mess with the track bar. But I'm gonna call it a night. Alright, so next day I got the frame all painted up. I got the coil buckets cleaned up and painted. Working on the radius arm brackets right now. So what I did is I put it on the frame and marked it where the holes are on the frame. So these line up with holes that are in the frame already, instead of drilling 8 giant holes in the frame. No, there was 7. Anyways, instead of drilling all those giant holes in the frame, I just marked holes that were already there. Which would be this one, and I think that one. And this one on the bottom, and then I'll just have to drill one right there. I'd rather do that instead of drilling a bunch of extra holes in the frame. So, got those drilled, and both of them. So the new one's right there, and then I'll just have to drill this one in. So it'll have 4 1/2-inch bolts on each one. 2 there and 2 in the bottom. And then I'm gonna get those bolted on there, and then I'm gonna get the axle under here and get the radius arms mounted up, and then I gotta figure out the rest of it. I don't know if that's gonna work really. The track bar, I had it up there, but it was pretty crooked. So they were saying, the video I watched, it would line up with this and this. which is really close, but it don't line up. And it's crooked this way to line up on that, so. And it's like touching the pitman arm. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to figure that out. Might have to make me a whole different bracket. But we're gonna figure it out. Pour some paint on those radius arm brackets and get them bolted to the frame. All right, the brackets are on. Pretty straightforward. Plan to do a 4-link on this thing, but I'm just trying to get it all together right now so I can keep driving it. But I plan to do a full long arm 4-link on the front of it. So that's another reason I didn't want to drill a bunch of holes in the frame. So I just drilled in the bracket instead of in the frame. So, and I think that's plenty. There's 4 of them on it. There's 2 there and 2 in the bottom. Plenty. And then the big bolt down here will hold it together too. So, gotta get the little wheel dollies under this one and roll it under there. Alright, so I got the coil buckets on with just 2 bolts right now. I got them both on. And now I got 2 sets of springs. These are 6-inch lift, I think, from what I remember, and these are stocks. So I don't know what's gonna fit. These are 24 inches. Those are about 20. And right now it's at 22. And that's with no bushing either. I'm gonna try these first and see how it does. All right, well, there she is. They compress about 4 inches, so it's pretty good. I have to get the tire on it. The radius arm don't look horrible. Looks pretty good. Only thing it's missing is my bushing right here, which is gonna add some, a little bit of lift up there, but I don't know, they might be just right. Purple and green almost looks like the Hulk. So next thing, as long as those are gonna work, I need to get the tire and see if it's gonna work. Next thing's track bar and steering. So not much more, and I gotta finish putting the rest of the bolts in there. But it's late. Got it on its own weight. So, yeah, a little sketchy with no track bar. But, looks pretty good. Alright. So I gave up on this, even after trimming it out, to make it clear everything. Just wasn't gonna work, it's too crooked. So, got this plate cut. It's gonna catch this hole and that hole. And then back here, I'm gonna put a tab going down and have a bolt right here. 1 or 2, something like that. It'll be welded to this, and then hang down, have a bolt. That's my plan now. And probably gonna take this. Don't have to drill this big hole. Take and cut it. Cut like that off of it, and just weld it to the bottom of there. So basically making my own now. Should be pretty nice though. Alright, I got it centered up. Got both the dually adapters on, and I went ahead and got the bracket cut and tacked on there. So now I just need to clean the edges up, you know, trim this excess off and weld it. I think she'll be good. Then I gotta drill this out with the pitman arm thing so this fits in there. And I think she's good. It's gonna be mint. Just gotta weld everything on this. And there's a couple bolts I still gotta put in the pit or the coil buckets. A couple of them are loose still. Oh, and I gotta fill this in, make some kind of something to fill that gap in there. Something solid in there. That's how that came out in there. Might try to make a piece to like fill this in because this is like the weak spot right here. But it's not bad. Pretty good. I like it. Alright, I got the bracket made. Got this clearance for the pitman arm. Just welding it up now. Got some of it done. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it'll work for now. Eventually I'm gonna redo all of it when I form it. But that'll definitely work for now. It'll get me down the road. Gotta finish welding it, and then I'll shoot some paint on it and put it on the truck. Alright, got it all welded. Alright, so since this is bigger than the OBS pitman arm, which I got the pitman arm off, the hole's bigger in the Super Duty deal. It says you can bolt that on there, but you gotta modify all the steering linkage and stuff, and I don't feel like doing all that right now, so got the pitman arm off. All I'm gonna do is drill it out with this pitman arm bit. Just clean this hole out till it fits on there, and it should be good. Alright, the Super Duty swap's almost done on the OBS. Got my shocks in. Got the track bar bracket on. Got me a little vent hose ran. Got the steering hooked up. Got my hubs and my brakes on. The brackets. Got all the bolts and everything up there, the coil buckets and everything. Got the bolts on these. Went ahead and put me a cross member in here just to help support those brackets. And I think she's about done. There's some paint on a couple spots. Yeah, I think got all the bolts and everything. All my hub spacers are on, brakes are on. She's about done. Just gotta adjust the steering. This is still loose. Take these off. I think she's about done though. Excited to drive it, see how it drives. Hopefully the arm isn't at a crazy angle once the truck's level. That's the only thing I'm kind of worried about. Alright, about to set it down on the ground. It's like the best feeling when you're working on something. Getting it back on its own weight, back on the ground. Give it a little drop test. Beautiful. Sweet. Looks good. Oh yeah, it's gonna look mint. Cool spring, baby. So excited, I want to do this for so long. All right, y'all, I think she's done. About to back it out of the shop. Alright, so I just got back from the first drive. Everything seemed to be really good. It drives really nice. Rides way better. Definitely worth the swap. Steering box is a little loose on it, but I think that's what I'm gonna do next is put that Super Duty steering box on it. They say you can just drill these out to the next size up and it'll bolt right up, but then I don't know what you gotta do for the lines up there. You gotta figure that out, but it's doing good. Definitely worth the swap. Hopefully this video was helpful on like what I did with it and stuff, but yeah, I think she's done. Besides the front drive shaft and the steering box I'm gonna do. And then later on I'm gonna 4-link it. But that's it for this video, so thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.